What's up everyone, welcome back to a brand new video. In the last part, we started heading into Super with this story. Right away, we see that things are changing pretty quickly without Goku there. And the main focus is mostly on the humans, although Vegeta and Gohan are doing their own things now. We have our attention divided amongst a few groups. And it's going to be like that going forward, at least up until a part of this video. You'll see what I mean as this goes on. For this video, let's set a like goal of 3,500 likes. Once we hit that, I'll continue with another part to this series. Anyways, let's pick up from here. After the events of the last part, not much is going on. Everyone is basically up to the same training that they've been doing. But Vegeta receives some pretty interesting news. He finds out that Beerus actually has a brother. Champa visits Beerus' planet, seeing his new student as well. And just as the two usually do, they start fighting, which then leads to a tournament being conceptualized. They have to settle this feud somehow, and Vegeta suggests this tournament. And that means he now has to find a team of 5. That actually shouldn't be too hard. There's a bunch of strong people around him that he could find. And Beerus isn't too worried either. He wonders who Champa's gonna find. But as for Universe 7, they should be perfectly okay. Actually, it seems like they have too many people. They have so many good fighters that they don't really know who to choose from. Vegeta tells Beerus not to worry. He'll survey the strongest and get the best team possible. Obviously, his first pick will be Tenshinhan. The two of them are sorta rivals now, but not really. Although he knows Ten's getting some pretty great training, so he's gonna be a good asset to the team. And obviously, Gohan's gonna be another pick. After seeing his power firsthand and training with Gohan a bit even on Earth, Vegeta knows he'd be a great option for the team. He only needs 2 more people. He could get Piccolo on the team, but also there's some pretty strong humans left too. Although he thinks it might be beneficial to have the most diverse team possible. He could have just made an entire team full of androids. But who knows, Piccolo's Namekian abilities might be useful. There's Piccolo, Yamcha, Krillin, Android 18, Chaozu. So he doesn't really know who to pick. Gohan suggests they just recruit Piccolo and Krillin. That way they have a bunch of fighters that do different things. Awesome, that works out. The team's all set now. And they head into the tournament. Just as I usually do for my videos, I'm going to go through the tournament pretty quickly. We don't really need all the fine details, and honestly it would be better to just get on to the next arc because that's the most interesting. And also, this tournament's going to go by pretty easily, so it's not like we really need to spend much time on it. First up is Krillin. And even though Batamo might be tricky to fight, Krillin's pretty strategic and smart. He'll figure out a way to defeat him pretty easily. Power's not an issue either. It's just figuring a way to get him out of the ring. As for Frost, power is also not an issue there. But Frost's poison is pretty tricky to work around. Krillin doesn't notice it at first and he's knocked out. Piccolo's then up next, and he's able to discern Frost's poison after he's stung by it. This means Frost is disqualified, and sadly this means Piccolo's gonna have to sit out too, but he's gonna get another chance at the end once he's fully healed. Krillin's also gonna be reinstated afterwards because he was knocked out unfairly. So technically, their team hasn't had anyone eliminated yet. Gohan's up next against Vegeta. Gohan was looking forward to showing off his training, but against Vegeta he can't really do that. Similar to Batamo, Vegeta just can't take any damage at all, at least not physically. Gohan needs to inflict some emotional damage. And I'm sure Gohan can come up with some pretty unique insults, also profusely apologizing afterwards. Vegeta's defeated and next Gohan fights Kappa. There's not too much interesting about this fight either. Gohan doesn't really have a reason to teach Kappa Super Saiyan, it might not even cross his mind. Of course he would be surprised to see a Universe 6 Saiyan, and surprised to hear that he doesn't have Super Saiyan at all. Kappa would hear about it, but he wouldn't learn it at all. Gohan probably couldn't think of a way to teach him it, and there wouldn't really be enough time for him anyways. It's a friendly fight, but it ends pretty quickly. Gohan's up against Hit next, and pretty quickly it becomes apparent that Hit's way too much for Gohan to face. His time skip is an issue, although Gohan realizes that he's not going to be doing any damage, so he's going to go on the defensive here. He wants to stay in the ring as long as possible so he can learn Hit's technique, trying to see if he can give tips to whoever's next. He's eliminated, but he's gathered some good info. Vegeta's next and he tries to put this to use. And even though Vegeta does know Hit's tricks now, this is still going to be a bit tough. Vegeta's very strong in this scenario still, but I'd like to say that he's weaker than normal here. Think about it, he's been training alone with Beerus and Whis. He hasn't had a training partner like Goku. This isn't to say he's weak, just weaker than his canon counterpart. Combine this with the fact that Hit is just too powerful to keep up with, and it will make things tough for Vegeta. He might be able to get some attacks in at first, but I still feel like Hit would take this round. Next up, Tien faces Hit. In terms of raw strength, he might not be able to match up to Hit here, even with his great training and all, but in terms of technique, he can more than make up for it. Knowing Hit's strategies, he's found a way around it. First of all, with his precise vision, he's able to see small movements that Hit makes, being able to figure out when he's time skipping an attack. And by now he's also picked up the Kai Kai, able to freely teleport around the ring, avoiding Hit's attacks. He combines all this with the knowledge that he got from watching Gohan and Vegeta fight him. He might not be able to beat Hit physically, but he can beat him in terms of strategy. He performs a solar flare, able to blind Hit. Hit says this isn't going to stop him, but as his vision clears up, he sees a bunch of Tenshinhans around him. Even everyone in the stands is confused. Did he split himself up that much? He has dozens of clones. They think he split up his power all those ways. But really, those aren't clones. Those are illusions. There's dozens of fake copies of him around the ring. Utilizing magic, he was able to make dummies out of Kachi. and by lowering his own ki as well, Hit can't tell which one is which. All the clones start moving too, trying to trip Hit up. Manipulating them, Tien begins teleporting all of them around rapidly, including himself. Even when Hit does attack a fake one, he's not sure because it keeps teleporting away. He is quick and his time skip does help him, but with so many fakes and not knowing which one's the real one, this is getting on his nerves. But it's a perfect distraction. Amidst all this chaos, Tien jumps up in the air, performing a massive Kikoho. This attack is normally incredibly draining for him, but as an android, that doesn't matter now. He's using it at full power, able to launch it for as long as he likes. Hit is bombarded by multiple Kikohos, all in a rapid succession. He has his arms up guarding it, and he doesn't take too much damage from it, but everyone's surprised because it's announced that he's eliminated. With all those attacks, Tien destroyed a bunch of the ring, and even though Hit wasn't too damaged by this, or actually flung out of the ring, he still isn't in the ring anymore. And on that technicality, Universe 7 takes the win. But this leaves some pretty interesting consequences for the next arc. Of course, Zamasu's watching all of this. You could say he's intrigued, but more so he's angered. Probably even more than usual. Not only is godly power being made a mockery of with Vegeta, but the humans are playing gods too. They've been modifying themselves. At first he didn't even realize it, but apparently that one human is a student of Akai, and it's because he was turned into an android. These humans have been trying to create stronger humans. Do they think they're Kais or something? It's disgusting. Zamasu's revolted, and he's gonna take this into his own hands. One day, Vegeta's back on Earth training. He's spending some time with his family. He's been on Beerus' planet for far too long, and after the tournament he did need some time back on Earth. But that doesn't mean he's not training. He's still trying to get stronger and stronger than before. Now with access to Super Saiyan Blue, he needs to improve this somehow. But as he's training, he then feels weird. In a nearby window he looks. His reflection. He looks completely different. And in the reflection, he sees someone appear behind him. It's himself. Zamasu has stolen Vegeta's body, and he Kai's in right behind Vegeta. Vegeta doesn't know who this is, but he doesn't even ask questions. He immediately attacks the imposter. For a brief moment, he is able to put up a fight, but Zamasu does have Vegeta's body, which is way stronger than his own. He's able to then kill Vegeta. He goes around the rest of Capsule Corp too, killing everyone that tries to stand up against him. The Earthlings all rush over, as well as all the other fighters. They're not sure what's going on, but the entire Earth begins rumbling. Vegeta Black has launched an attack right towards its core, leaving a nice parting gift as he travels off to another timeline. Everyone is killed, at least in that one instance. Of course, Vegeta Black finds his way over to future Trunks' timeline, and in that timeline, Zamasu becomes immortal, commencing the Zero Mortals plan. Outside of the fact that it's Vegeta Black and not Goku Black, not much here is different. Luckily, our main timeline is still safe. Trunks ends up traveling there for help. Everyone's surprised to learn about what's happening. Somehow Vegeta's alive in the future, and he's going around killing everyone. This all sounds weird. They thought Vegeta died in that timeline, and Trunks says he did. He's sure of it. That's why he couldn't believe it when he saw it. His own father going around doing this. At first it was distracting, a little bit traumatic too. He sees Vegeta's face as he torments everyone, but that's how he came to realize it. That wasn't Vegeta. It's some sort of clone, some imposter of some sorts. Someone that just looks like Vegeta somehow. And whoever he is, Trunks doesn't care. They need to kill him as soon as possible. This is not only a huge threat, but it's also personal. Trunks is also surprised to learn about what's happened here. Goku is still dead obviously, but apparently Vegeta's been training with some new gods. And the humans have become androids somehow. Weird, they were fighting the androids before and now they are the androids. Plus, the 17 and 18 in this timeline are completely good. Well, they assume 17 is, they haven't seen him in a while. It's strange for him to learn all about this, and they hear about what's been going on in his timeline too. Of course, nothing with Trunks would have changed here. The only difference for him is that Vegeta Black is attacking his timeline, not Goku Black. And it's good timing too, because around the time that all this is happening, Vegeta Black then teleports in. And as you'd probably expect, Vegeta is immediately infuriated, launching over and attacking the fake Vegeta. Vegeta Black wanted to make a grandiose introduction, but that's not going to pan out too well. Vegeta even mocks him. At his current strength, Vegeta Black is nothing to him. And Vegeta Black admits it. He's right. He can't do anything at this current level. So, he randomly departs. Vegeta's just standing there amazed. He really retreated. What a little bitch. Whatever, they'll find him again. And eventually they all do return to the future. Vegeta heads back with Trunks, and Tien decides to go along with him too. They could bring more people, but it might be too much of a hassle. And they're also concerned that he might show up back here, so Gohan's gonna stay back with some of the other humans, just in case Vegeta Black appears again. And this is happening almost immediately after too. The time machine was never destroyed since Vegeta made such quick work of Vegeta Black. Plus, that means Vegeta Black's also pretty injured still. He is eventually going to get healed. But since this is all happening so quick, it's basically right after he gets back. Vegeta, Trunks, and Tien immediately go in and begin attacking him. And they also learn of Zamasu as well. He's right there at the time that they return. So they decide to split up. They still need to learn about all this too and see what's going on. Vegeta and Trunks face Vegeta Black, while Tien goes to face Zamasu. He can clearly see that Zamasu's a Kai, and he wants to figure out what's going on. Zamasu is surprised. This human's apparently a student of the Kai's. He comes to see that he has the same techniques too. He's able to Kai. He's able to use some magic too. This must mean he has the ability to heal as well. And Zamasu doesn't find this fascinating. This infuriates him even more than Vegeta. Tien's able to get some info about Zamasu and figure out what's going on. And he also comes to learn that Zamasu's immortal. And after trying to kill Zamasu for so long, that kind of answers the question of why he won't die. And even though he's still not too familiar with the Kai's from other universes, he does know this is going to cause some issues back in their universe. He's heard of Zamasu before, and he knows that they immediately have to alert Gowasu and the other Kai's too. But right now, he has to figure out a way to defeat Zamasu. But how is he supposed to do that? Wait, if he's immortal, he knows the perfect way to do this, and doesn't require any Kai techniques or whatever. Well, maybe a little bit. In his hands, he makes a jar made out of Kachi. With one hand, he paralyzes Zamasu midair, and in the other, he generates a seal. Zamasu doesn't know what he's up to, and he keeps trying to escape the paralysis. Vegeta Black trying to get over to help, but he's having a tough time facing Vegeta and Trunks. Tien places the jar down, and while Zamasu's paralyzed in front of him, he sticks his hands out. He yells Mafuba, sealing Zamasu away in this jar. Vegeta Black looks over in complete shock. What just happened? Tien says that he's sealed away for good. Even though he's immortal, that doesn't mean he can't be defeated. Vegeta and Trunks commend him for his quick thinking, and now they just need to kill Vegeta Black, which shouldn't be too hard. Even though he did get healed, and got stronger from that, he's fighting 3 people now. But Vegeta Black's enraged. His whole plan is falling apart, and he's being mocked by these 3. And this anger, it'll allow him to ascend to a new power. He's surrounded by a dark pinkish aura, and his ki explodes. He turns Super Saiyan Rose, not even sure of what he just did or what this power is, but he doesn't care. He immediately launches towards Tien, trying to grab the jar from him. Everyone is just as confused as Vegeta Black. They have no idea what this pink-haired form is, and because of that, they don't know how strong he is. But they come up with a plan. They're gonna fake a retreat. Maybe they can coax him into coming back into the past again. By going back there, they could probably get help from Beerus and Whis, as well as getting some of the other fighters involved. They're able to create a distraction, then heading back to that timeline. But they have to work quick. Tien Kai's over to Beerus and Whis, quickly explaining everything, and he gives them the jar with Zamasu in it. Beerus knew something was suspicious about that Vegeta Black guy, mainly his connection to the Kai's, and this really explains it all. He's gonna dispose of this container and deal with Zamasu in this timeline too. Wait, he's not gonna help them? Well, he will help them. He'll help with the Zamasu aspect. They think he's gonna go back there and Hakai Vegeta Black? Well, he might, but it's more so their concern. He trusts they can handle it. He and Whis depart, and this means Tien needs a new plan. He teleports back to Earth, quickly healing everyone as fast as possible. Vegeta and Trunks already filled everyone in. Yamcha, Chaozu, and Gohan are already there, and Krillin and 18 are gonna get there soon. They don't know when Vegeta Black's going to arrive, but they know he's going to eventually. They'll ambush him right when he gets here. They wait for a few minutes. A portal opens in the sky, and immediately they start attacking. First, Tien encases Vegeta Black's arms in Kachi. He's only got one shot at this. He's doing this to catch him off guard and steal the time ring. He's successful. Vegeta Black breaks free from the Kachi out of anger. Now he has no means of escaping, but he doesn't care. He knows he'll win here. The entire group powers up. Vegeta Black's now on his last legs. He's been injured before, and even with this power-up, he doesn't have anyone to heal him. Everyone else here is at full strength, fighting together alongside allies. As Tien heals Vegeta and Trunks, Gohan holds him off first, with the rest then joining in. The other humans and Piccolo help too. He might be strong, but he's not strong enough to take on all of them at once. And Vegeta lets him know this. He might have the same body as him, he might look like him, but he's not Vegeta. Even though he can mock Vegeta, he'll never be the real thing. And because of that, this is where he loses. Vegeta Black's getting angrier and angrier, and he's able to summon more power, but it's still not enough. He's being injured at such a great rate. And without the time ring, he's losing stability, and he has no means of escaping. Tien then hits him with a massive Kikoho, not only injuring Vegeta Black, but holding him midair. Tien continuously launches this, not faltering at all. Gohan and Trunks then jump to the side, each hitting Vegeta Black with their own Masenko. He's being hit from 3 different angles, and he tries to push it back, but he can't. And then he senses energy below him. It's Vegeta. He aims his hands directly upwards. Ki courses through the entire area, breaking up the ground below him. He launches a massive final flash directly up into the sky. Vegeta Black's now being hit from 4 different angles, and this final flash is what finishes it. A massive pillar of Ki flies out of the atmosphere, going off into space. Nothing is left of Vegeta Black. They did it. They defeated Vegeta Black, and now Trunks can return back to his timeline. And Beerus and Whis arrive back just after this. It's like he said, he knew they could handle it. They didn't need his help. He's impressed to see how far Vegeta's come, but is also equally intrigued by Shin's student and Shinhan. And with that, we'll leave off here for now. So, what did you guys think about this part? What do you think is going to happen next as a result of this part? Leave any thoughts or suggestions in the comments below. I'll be sure to check them out to see what you guys think. As always, if you liked the video, be sure to drop a like. And let's try to hit that like goal from the beginning of the video so we can get another part to the series. If you haven't already, why not subscribe? As well as hitting the bell icon so you're notified about any future parts of this What If, or any other videos that I upload on my channel. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.